If you're a high-performing manager who wants to get to the C-suite, GM, a VP, a senior director role, this video is for you. Because in my experience, most talented managers who are serious about making that jump are working incredibly hard in exactly the wrong things. They're delivering outstanding results, they're managing their teams well, they're doing everything that got them to where they are and doing it better every year. And they're not getting promoted. Or they get the title but not the influence. Or they get overlooked for the role they've been building towards for 3 years. Today I want to talk about why that happens and what the gap actually is between where you are and where you're trying to get to. I call it the performance trap. The first thing is to understand why I call it the performance trap. Everything that got you to your role, current level, your technical skills, your ability to execute, your track record, or delivering the results, is the entry ticket to the C-suite conversation. It's not the deciding factor. This is the single biggest misconception I see in talented managers who want to move up. They believe that if they keep performing at a high level, the promotion will come, that the results will speak for themselves. And sometimes that's true, but often it isn't. Because the C-suite is not just a bigger version of what you're doing now. It requires a fundamentally different way of operating. At the manager level, you're primarily a deliverer. The C-suite level, you're primarily a shaper. And your job is to set direction, build culture, make decisions with incomplete information, and create conditions for others to deliver. That shift from deliver to shaper is not automatic. And it is not something that happens just because you get promoted. The three gaps in my experience working with senior executives, the gap between manager level and C-suite level, comes down to three things. The first is strategic thinking. Not just understanding the strategy, but contributing to it. Being able to zoom out from your function and think about the whole organization. Understanding how your piece fits into the bigger picture and being able to articulate that clearly to the people above you. Most strong managers are excellent functional thinkers. The C-suite requires enterprise thinking. That's a different muscle, and it needs to be deliberately developed. The second gap is influence without authority. At the manager level, a significant part of your influence comes from your position. You have direct reports, you have a budget, you have a defined remit. At the C-suite level, much of what you need to achieve happens through people who don't report to you. It's peers, cross-functional stakeholders, the board, external partners. The ability to influence without authority, to build genuine credibility and trust across the organization. This is one of the most important skills for C-suite effectiveness. And it's one that most managers haven't had to develop yet. The third gap is the interior game. This is the one that surprises people most. The C-suite puts you in a different kind of spotlight. The decisions are bigger, the stakes are higher, and the scrutiny is more intense. How you show up under that pressure, how settled you are, how clearly you think, how you make decisions when the data is incomplete, that is being assessed constantly. The managers who make it to the C-suite have usually done some deliberate work on this. They understand how they operate under pressure. They've closed the gap between how they think they lead and how they actually lead. So what to do about it? What do you actually do with all this information? So it's three practical things. First, start operating at the level above you before you have the title. Look for opportunities to contribute strategic thinking. Volunteer for cross-functional projects. Build relationships with people at the C-suite level. Make your thinking visible to people who make promotion decisions. Second, build your influence deliberately. Identify the stakeholders who matter most for where you're heading and invest in those relationships. Not transactionally, but genuinely. The C-suite runs on trust, and trust takes time. Third, get honest feedback on the interior gap. Find someone who can tell you clearly what you can't see about yourself. not your manager, someone with no agenda, because the blind spots you have right now are exactly the things that will hold you back if you don't address them. The gap between manager and C-suite is real, but it's not mysterious. It's a shift from delivery to shaper. It's the development of strategic thinking, influence without authority, and the interior game. And the managers who work on those things deliberately, not just performing better in their current role, but actively preparing for the next one, are the ones who make the jump. If you're a high-performing manager who's serious about getting to the C-suite and you want to talk about what this actually looks like for your situation, there's a link below. 30-minute discussion, no pitch, just an honest conversation about whether you are and what the path forward looks like for you. I'm Greg Stevenson.